Hey makeup friends! Today I'm going to be sharing with you an update on my project pan for 2022. Let's get into this. As always, I want to start off by welcoming you back to my channel, or if you're new here, then hello and welcome. My name is Kara, and on my channel we like to mix beauty, brains, and the occasional F-bomb. Now, if you didn't catch the intro to this project pan, I will go ahead and link it down below, and I'll put a card up here as well so that you can check that out. I'm going to establish a playlist for this, so as we move through the year, if there's any updates that you've missed, you can go there and more easily find the videos. What I did was I chose 10 items that I wanted to focus on for a variety of reasons. Some had to do with the price point of the items, some had to do with just how long they've been in my collection, but at any rate, we have an assortment of items and an assortment of reasons behind them. Again, check the intro if you want more details on that. But we are now 1 month into it, and let me tell you, January felt like an eternity. So it feels like I've been doing this project for a very long time, but in fact, it's just 1 month. But already we see some progress, which in and of itself is also kind of surprising to me, because not only was January the month that would not end, it's also traditionally the lowest and worst mental health month for me. I do suffer generally from anxiety and depression, but then you add that 1-2 punch of seasonal depression, and you throw into the mix a 3-week deep freeze where we're talking -20 to -30 degrees Celsius every day. And it was just not a good time. So makeup, all of that, not necessarily my priority. However, I have a job, I did have to go to work, and I do like to make myself presentable for the office, if only for myself and my own sake of feeling complete and pulled together. And it just puts me in that right mindset for going to work. So, like I said, we have some progress. So I'm gonna stop rambling here and let's dive into these items. So first up, there was a perfume. So this one here from Givenchy, this is Dahlia Divin. I love this perfume. I think it's perfect for winter. I'm not sure how I'm gonna feel about it come like May and June, but that's a problem for the future. I will figure it out then. But as you can see, obviously the top line is where we started at the beginning of January, and here is where we're at now. So I have not found this one difficult to wear every day because I do love the scent so much, and I haven't gotten bored of it yet. And again, I just think it's perfect for this time of year, so this is not being a difficult one to stick with at all, hence we have as much progress as we do. So from there, I'm going to talk about the items in the order in which I typically apply them. So up first, we have this one here from Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Hollywood Flawless filter in the shade 2 Light. All of the lettering is marked off. I know it has a longer name than that, but Hollywood Flawless filter, that's what we'll go with. And again, you can see the marking here. So here's where we were at January, and here we are now at the beginning of February. So I have made considerable progress on this. Like I said, I've been using this as a primer, so I do apply it basically every single day, and it just adds a nice healthy luminosity to my skin without being over the top. And then as foundation, I've been using this one here from Kogendo, I still don't, okay. Let's figure this out. You know what?
Hey guys, so we're doing another foundation wear test today. Kogendo sent me their formulated moisture.
Thank you, Michelle Wong. And I've been using the Aqua foundation from Kogendo, and this one is in the shade 113. First of all, I've said it before, I'm gonna say it again. This foundation, impeccable. It is so beautiful, horrifically expensive, but I kind of get it because it is so beautiful on the skin. I should be wearing this today, but I'm not. I'm wearing this one instead. This is the Skin Paradise Water Infused Tinted Moisturizer from L'Oreal. It's in shade 2 Light. I would argue it's not very light. I really had to blend and blend and blend. So it speaks to the amount of coverage in this product, but it's shade 2 and it's a little bit deep on me. So jury's out on this one. We'll see how it wears, but the shades are a little strange. Not so with this one. 113 matches me perfectly. And let's see the progress. So again, I've made very good progress on this one. I will say, as much as I love this foundation, I haven't been relying on it exclusively throughout the month of January. So the fact that I've made this much progress as I have suggests to me that I'm going to be able to finish this up probably by summer, I would imagine, without any real issues. And I love it so much that it's not a stretch to make myself use it, but I have been going back to my powder foundations simply because they are so fast and so easy. So why don't we just take a very quick side note, because if you watched my year-long project pan that I did with Bella Beauty in 2021, you would have seen this one included in there for a few months of that. This is the Maybelline Superstay Better Skin Powder Foundation, which I don't think they still make. But look at all that pan. It's been repressed, and obviously I have hit pan again. So I'm just sort of trucking through this one, but I've been sort of alternating between that one and this one, really depending on how much time I have to get ready in the morning. So then that brings us to blush, and here is Luminoso from Milani. Okay, so when I had tried to pan this ages ago, I had gotten impatient and dug down with a little depotting tool to see just how much product there was. So that is what accounts for this little tiny speck of pan that you see going on there. That's not me actually hitting pan, as exciting as that would be. But let's go ahead and look at the comparison pictures. And you can see that I have made a dent in this. I have worn this blush almost daily throughout the month of January. I don't know when it will ever end. I really don't. But talk about value for money. This is still going strong. I still love it. I am wearing it today. It's just a beautiful, burnt peachy kind of shade with a little bit of luminosity to it. Love it. Okay, that's going to bring us to highlighter. So this one here from Stila, this is the Heaven's Hue highlighter in Kitten. And we'll go ahead and take a look at the comparison pictures. You can see that I have definitely made progress in this. There is no way that I'm going to finish this within a year. There's just no way. I can tell from just how much I've actually managed to use in the course of January. Multiply that by 12 and I know it's not going to happen. There is so much product in here. There is 10 grams originally in here. Compare that to a Super Shock Cheek product here from ColourPop. This one has 4.2 grams to begin with. So already less than half than what's in here. So as much as I love it, I'm going to switch it out because I think I can actually finish this one in the course of a year. So this is Flexitarian. You've heard me talk about this one a bunch of times as well. It's so pretty. In fact, they both look fairly similar, although this one is a little bit more on that white gold side than Kitten. Kitten has a little bit of a pink undertone to it. But this is the starting point for Flexitarian. So you can see there's already obviously a ton of pan in there, so far less than the 4 grams that is initially in there. And I just think that I can actually get through this one, whereas even if I go all year with this, I'm still going to have it left over at the end of the year. So in order to set myself up for as much success as possible, I'm going to switch that one out and put Flexitarian in. I also included a finishing powder in this project, and it's the Guerlain Meteorites. So let's go ahead and take a look at where we're at now. It's kind of difficult to gauge the progress in this simply because of how it's designed. You can't really tell when you've hit pan because the little beads move around within there, but I think that I've made some good progress on this, and this has been the finishing powder that I have used pretty much daily. I have been dabbling back and forth with a couple others, but for the most part, it has been this one. I'm happy to continue working on this one. We shall see how long it takes. I can't even begin to predict with a product like this. I just have no idea. So we'll just keep it in and we will learn together. Then I had 2 eyeshadow palettes. Well, one palette and one shade from another palette. So let's talk about the palette first. That is the Tartelette in Bloom. And one of the shades in here is quite delicate now, so I don't want to lift it up because I have the feeling it's going to crumble out of the pan. So let's just take a look at the pictures. So the shade Flower Child, I did end up repressing it, as well as the shade Funny Girl. Flower Child I've been using every day to set my eyeshadow primer, and you can see I've made very good progress on that shade. There's really not that much left. Might be another month or two before it's finished. I can't quite gauge it, but I feel very confident that that one will be concluded at some point. I haven't hit any new pan on Leader, which is another shade that I have been focusing on, but I have expanded the pans in the other shades and I'm quite happy about that. I've also gotten a bit of use out of the two other satiny kind of finish shades in here, Rocker and Firecracker, these two up here. And I have found that if I use a glitter glue, it really does help them last throughout the day, but they are quite hard panned. I've had to go in and sort of rough them up with a spoolie. I've had this palette for, I want to say 5-6 years, something like that. So I've had it for a very long time, and I don't use those shades very often, but I'm glad that I found a way to make them work when I do decide to use them. And then the other palette is the Huda Beauty Remastered Rose Gold palette. And this one, I am just focusing on the shade Pink Diamond, which is this guy up here. I'm not a big fan of the mattes in here. They're workable, but they are very dry, and it's a lot of effort, I find, to blend these ones out. Some of these other metallic shades in here are beautiful as well, but Pink Diamond just has my heart. That's what I have all over my lid today, with shades from Tartelette in Bloom as the mattes. And again, we'll take a look at the close-ups, but I have obviously made quite a bit of a dip in here. No pan at this point. I wouldn't expect there to be after just 1 month of use, but quite the impressive dip. I haven't used it every single day. I have primarily used Tartelette in Bloom, but I have been doing more like just all matte looks and really simplistic looks with it. I haven't got bored of it yet, but every now and then I do bring in something else to try out another palette, or just to give myself a little bit of a break from this one. But I'm happy to keep working away on these ones. So then that brings us to the two pencils that I've been working on. One of them is from Makeup Geek. This is one of the original full spectrum liners that came out a few years ago in the shade Espresso. And then the other pencil here is a lip pencil from Gerard Cosmetics in the shade Sugar and Spice. And I will just show you the updates for both of them side by side. So there, as you can see, is the progress that I made on the lip pencil, and then the progress that I made on the eyeliner. I will say I was a little bit surprised. I thought I would have a bit more progress on the lip pencil because I do use it pretty much every day, regardless of the color of the lipstick that I wear on top of it. I find even if I'm wearing a really bold or deep lipstick, because it does match my lip color so well, it really just helps define the edge. So I don't find that I have to use a red lip pencil to match a red lipstick. This one works perfectly fine, but I thought I'd have a bit more use out of it. Although when I think about it, I do only apply it in the morning. I don't carry a lip pencil to work with me to touch up throughout the day, so I'm getting very limited use even though I use it repeatedly. With the eyeliner, I'm not surprised that there's not a massive amount of progress shown, simply because, again, I apply it once and then that's it for the day. And even at that, I mean, a little bit, I don't even do the entire lower waterline, and I don't do the entire upper lash line either. So even though I use it daily, there's just not a lot of mileage on it, if you will. So again, happy to keep trucking away with both of these, but I think these ones are going to be in the project for several months before we see some real progress on them. So there we have it, guys. Now, I don't know if I'm going to do an update at the beginning of March. It's really going to depend on whether or not my surgery goes forward. I'm currently scheduled for surgery on February 18th. I won't find out until tomorrow, as of the day that I'm filming, if it's going to go ahead or not. There's been a lot of postponements and a lot of cancellations of elective surgeries here in Ontario. I wouldn't be surprised if it gets canceled, but if by some miracle it does proceed, I don't anticipate wearing makeup throughout the second half of February at any rate, because recovery and all of that. So we shall see. If it does get postponed, then I will likely do an update at the beginning of March. If not, I will see you back for another update at the beginning of April. But for now, we're going to wrap the video up here. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch, and I will see you in my next one. Until then, just be a decent human being. Bye for now.